Well, back for another week anyway, at least. At least this week's Tuesday's episode isn't going to be deleted like last week. Welcome back, guys, to the Newry Army podcast for another week. Hope you're all doing well out there. Welcome back to the family-friendly version of the Newry Army podcast. It's been an eventful weekend, should I say, for myself, but I'm back for another week of it, and just want to welcome back to the podcast for another week, guys. As I record this podcast on Tuesday morning, I am very, very tired this morning, so if I sound a bit groggy, I do apologise, but just feeling a little bit tired after a very long weekend of travelling, Irish League, antics, should we say, adrenaline, walking, exercise, just overall constantly on the go. So I'm back today for another podcast. By the time this podcast is finished, I'm hopefully a little bit more awake. So, yes, guys, hope you're all doing well out there. Hope you all had a great weekend out there since the last time I spoke to you last Thursday on the podcast. If you haven't checked it out, it's still available on Apple Music, Spotify, and on the YouTube channel as well. The Unleashed podcast from last Thursday, where we talked about quite a bit. Talked about my road to getting myself back to sort of healthy, be a bit more healthy compared to what I've been recently. Starting a new walking regime, which I actually haven't posted a few videos about a few days. I have been out for more walks. I was supposed to go out on Sunday, but I didn't get out on Sunday because of the heavy rain. But I was out Monday, so it was for a little bit. It was good to see, so I'm trying to get at least 3 to 4 walks a weekend, guys. So if you haven't checked out my video diary so far, it's available on social media. We talked about that last week on the podcast. If you want to go and listen to it, you can find out all the information of obviously what I've explained, what I'm trying to do to myself to make myself better. Just trying to improve my life, as the last sort of year or so has been pretty crap. So anyway, guys, yes, welcome back to another podcast this week. What a weekend. Where should I start? I mean, as I sat last night thinking about this podcast, saying to myself, right, I need to get this podcast recorded in the morning. I haven't even got a subject to talk about, so I'm just going to shoot from the hip. But then I woke up this morning and I thought to myself, right, I need to start talking more and figure out what I want to talk about on tomorrow's podcast. So here I am, guys, shooting straight from the hip. I'm actually sitting upstairs here this morning recording this podcast because I was going to sit downstairs, but there's a bit of work going on outside nearby where I live and stuff, and I don't really want to be disturbed with all the banging and drilling and everything else that's been going on. So, but anyway, yes, what a weekend it's been, guys. But before I go any further in the podcast today, as you always know, I like to talk about, get out of the way first of all, is the housekeeping, I like to call it, where I like to tell you how you can get in touch with the podcast. You can contact us at the Newry Army Podcast by the following methods. First of all, being if you want to have an email to us, which you can send to us for any questions for the podcast, anything you want to talk about on the podcast, any subject we talk about, you want to give us a shout out, a birthday shout out for someone, or I don't know, maybe an anniversary shout out or something like that, or you want to contact us here on the Newry Army Podcast, we can certainly do that for you. And the email for that is newryarmypodcast@yahoo.com. That's newryarmypodcast@yahoo.com. And if you want to contact us on the old social media, you can certainly do it as well. You can contact us on Facebook, which is Newry Army YouTube channel. Please drop a like on that. A lot of people are following that page lately. I keep saying this every week. You don't seem to be liking the page, you seem to be following the page. Drop a like on it if you can. Newry Army YouTube channel on Facebook. And if you want to contact myself directly on social media, you can contact me on Instagram, which is official Matthew Moore on Instagram. Not on Twitter. Don't even get me started on Twitter. Twitter is mad. So what people have been asking me for the last couple of weeks now, will I ever go back onto Twitter again? Not a chance. Twitter is an absolute toxic platform which I will never ever step foot on. Now, I do obviously media stuff for other companies and whatever else, and the football and whatever else I do work for. I do their Twitter accounts, but some of the things that I see on Twitter through there is not for me, and I will never have my personal details on there again, because Twitter is full of head cases. So don't expect to find me on Twitter, guys, because I'll not be on there. So also the main thing you can get in touch with is, which I'm a little bit disappointed about this week, guys. I'm a little bit annoyed about that, actually, because the guy who helps me do the website was supposed to do a bit of work to it over the weekend. He hasn't done it yet, so trying to get all that merchandise and stuff changed on it. If you want to buy some Moore Army merchandise, which is for the podcast and the YouTube channel, and if you also want to buy more merch, we'll have on there too as well. And you want to check out all our social media posts, like a hub where you can check out all our photographs and all the videos from the YouTube channel and more. It's moorarmy.co.uk. It's moorarmy.co.uk. Guys, you can probably hear my voice today. I'm a little bit groggy and tired, and I'm just sort of, I've got a busy day ahead of me today. I've got to go to football tonight. The Welders are back in action again tonight up in Belfast. But what a weekend Lewis and I had. It was, for anybody who watches football, I'm going to talk about a bit of football for just a wee minute or two. And then I'll move on to other subjects. But yeah, guys, what a weekend for us of football. Lewis and I were on the road last Saturday morning. We were off to Newry to watch the Welders play against Newry City in the 5th round of the Irish Cup. Now, we were expecting to go down there and obviously, on recent good form, just thinking to ourselves, right, we'll go down, we'll give a go of it. But again, Newry are a Premiership side. They were in our league a couple of years ago. Now they're a Premiership side. They've got obviously a stronger squad, and they're not having a bit of a great run themselves at the minute. But we were going down there expecting, right, okay, we'll go down, give it a go, and we'll see. But we went down anyway, and what a day it turned out to be. Like, seriously, what a day it turned out to be. We ended up beating Newry 2-1 in Newry and progressing into the next round of the Irish Cup, which is a massive achievement for the club, because in recent years, obviously, the 5th round hasn't been very kind to the Welders over the whole time I've been there. They haven't been very, very kind to them. We've ended up getting bigger teams and obviously getting knocked out of the competition. But this year was different. Went down with a bit of confidence compared to obviously what's been happening recently with the recent performances in the league and stuff like that there. And obviously with Newry, obviously not playing very well at the moment. Obviously they find it quite difficult to get a win together. We went down and we went a goal behind earlier on. I was thinking, oh God, here we go. And then literally a few minutes later we equalised through an absolute unbelievable goal. It's direct from a corner. And at half time, Lewis came up into the stand after taking his pictures and stuff, and we were doing our bits and balls that we do for social media at half time, whatever else. In the next minute, I said to Lewis, you know something, Lewis, I think we might nick this here. And Lewis is like, I don't know, that might go to extra time and penalties. And I thought, no, I hope not. And on the 86th or 80th minute, we scored again. Couldn't believe it. We are through into the next round of the Irish Cup. It was a great performance from the boys. They battled hard. They played well. And I just take my hat off to them. They've done so well. So, yeah, they are in the next round, which they've been drawn away to another Premiership side, Glenavon, which will take place either, is it the 6th or 7th, I think it is, or February, I'm not too sure, 100% sure. And it's a good thing for me as well, because when I heard the draw, I was thinking, probably get a home draw, please get a home draw. When I was standing beside the manager and the guy from BBC Radio Ulster when the draw was being made, we were standing with them live watching it. And we were just standing there and thinking, Glenavon away, and I thought to myself, hang on a wee second, I've never actually, obviously recorded games against Glenavon over the years, obviously with Bangor and obviously the Welders at home and friendlies and whatever else out there, but I've never actually, of all the grounds that I've been to in this country, I mean, I have been to, like, I would say probably nearly every ground in this country, bar a few amateur grounds maybe. But of one ground I have never been to is Mourneview Park, which is the home of Glenavon. Now, I've been to the likes of Larne, you've seen us at the Oval many a time, I've been to Windsor Park obviously for Northern Ireland games, I've been there for watching them field games over the years as a young boy growing up. Never actually recorded, and that's one thing too as well, I've never actually, as you all know I'm a videographer, I've never actually videoed a match at Windsor Park, which is hopefully coming up my bucket list soon as well. I've been to the likes of Portadown, Warren Point, all those different grounds all across the Premiership and across the Championship and the league below as well. The likes of the Banbridge Towns, the Tobermory Uniteds, the Dolly's Towns. One other ground I haven't been to is Ballymacash, but they're in the league below ours, but that'll be another one I'll probably get off the bucket list soon as well. But one major stadium in the country I've never been to is Mourneview Park, and that's the home of Glenavon. And that will happen in the next round of the Irish Cup. So it's a bit of a bucket list for me as well, which I'm looking forward to getting down there, because Glenavon have always had a really good pitch. Apparently the stadium's really, really good. So I'm looking forward to getting down there and seeing how we get on the next round. So you never know. Listen, seasons ago, the team who we actually played tonight in the league, Ballymallard United, they actually got to the Irish Cup final a few years ago. And I went to that final and watched it at Windsor Park. So the luck of the cup, you never know. You never know, and especially the way we're playing at the minute too as well. The way our manager has us playing, and he's brought a few decent signings in there, and he's wanting to bring a few more in before the January transfer window shuts. So I said to Lewis, you never know. But Lewis, God love him, Lewis was standing beside me, and the Welders manager Paul was standing beside us, and he was like, "Who do you fancy, big man?" And I said, "As long as it's a home draw." He said the same, and he used to be the manager of Institute. He got down to the Premier League twice, and the BBC guy was winding him up by saying to him, home the Institute in the next round. And we're all laughing and joking about else, and he turns around to Lewis and goes, "Who do you want?" And he goes, Lewis turned around and says, "Linfield, Windsor Park, away." And Paul looked at him and went, What? Linfield away? Why? He goes, "Want to take photos at Windsor?" But he didn't get his wish. But maybe if we beat Glenavon in the next round, maybe we'll get them in the quarterfinals. You never know. But overall, guys, it was a fun day. I took a few clips for the vlog. It's on the YouTube channel now. If you want to go and watch it, you can see the goals and stuff. And us briefly there. I put a vlog up the other day. I'm going to do another one later on today, another vlog too. Because we're about to head off shortly to head up to Belfast. Because Lewis is on a half day today from school. Because there's an open day for the new pupils coming out of their school next year. So they're off tomorrow, Brooke and Lewis, but they're half day today. And Brooke's helping out this evening at the open night at the school, which Brooke's always helping out, doing different things and helping out people and helping out the school and whatever else on her free time. So she's away doing that tonight while we're away to football. So looking forward to tonight. Got a big game, Ballymallard at home in the league. If we win, we'll obviously close the gap of heading up the table a bit more and obviously getting away from that sort of bottom 3-4 of the table. So the manager's really turned it around, and it's been great to see over the last few weeks, and I've got to know the manager and his assistant, and obviously all the new coaching staff they've brought in too as well. So it's a good atmosphere around the club at the minute, and yeah, it's looking good so far at the minute, and hopefully we can stay in the league this year. And you never know, might get a wee run in the Irish Cup. You never know. Just have to wait and see. But on the way home, we didn't go home in the team bus. We went down on the team bus this week, but didn't come home in the team bus. Apparently the team bus was very, very happy. No surprise, of course. But we came home with a friend of ours, and got a lift home, so we did. And then we came home on Saturday night and pretty much just crashed. We were, guys, to be honest with you, I was absolutely shattered on Saturday night after getting back home from that game. And I've been very, very tired since that, you know what I mean? But no, it was a great weekend. Sunday I was intending to go out for a walk, but it rained. So I didn't get out from a walk on Sunday, but I did get out on Monday from a walk. This walk thing, guys, at the minute, it's really starting to make me feel good about myself, and it's also helping me sleep too as well, which is great. My sleeping pattern's been a little bit more better, but I feel like I can get more rest and all now, which is great. So hopefully over the next few weeks, we're obviously cutting back and stuff, and maybe having a cheat day once a week. And obviously do a bit more walking and stuff like that there. I've cut out all fizzy juices as well, so I've had no fizzy juices since when? I can't even remember. It's before the new year. No fizzy drinks, no energy drinks, no nothing. If I'm feeling a bit low energy, have a coffee or a cup of tea or a bottle of water or something like that there. So, but I'm feeling quite good. So yeah, I'm feeling really, really quite good, and it's been going well so far. But overall, it was a good weekend, guys, and very, very excited. But we're going off to football here tonight, which I'm looking forward to, and I hope the boys can do the performance tonight and make that weekend, obviously that extended weekend, should we say, of football, that bit more better. So, but yeah, guys, I woke up this morning feeling a bit tired, and you know, obviously with the Christmas break and all being over now, I'm getting back into the normality of swing of things again. And this week obviously kicks back for me, obviously with work and stuff and everything else that goes on. So just trying to get back into the swing of things. I just felt really, really tired the last couple of days, and I'm just sort of trying to shake it off and trying to, because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day on the phone there, and he was saying to me, you don't want to push yourself too much, Matthew, because you don't want to end up being burnt out. That's why I'm trying to sort of pace myself, guys, at the minute, but I'm just feeling a bit tired today, so hopefully a nice hot shower after this podcast and 1 or 2 more cups of coffee, and I should be good to go. But anyway, yes, I just thought I would do it on this podcast today, guys. I just thought I would, sit and talk about, obviously what was going on at the weekend there and stuff like that, and do more of answering questions, because I did spend a bit of time on the team bus on Saturday answering questions by Instagram, email, etc, 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 and I thought, something, I don't really want to sort of like just read out 2 or 3 questions and then leave it at the rest, and then everybody's sitting waiting and they're contacting me back and saying to me, oh, you didn't answer my question, because I do get a lot of questions every week. So I thought today on the podcast, obviously with I would sit down and I would answer more questions on the podcast this week compared to normally, because a lot of you do contact me, and I don't want you all feeling like, obviously I can't get to everybody right away, because obviously there's so many people contact us, because there's a lot of people who listen to this podcast every week. And another thing as well, I was going to ask you today as well on the podcast as well, because a lot of you seem to more, not that I don't enjoy doing 2 podcasts a week, because I do enjoy doing it, because I love speaking and I love talking and I love telling stories and I love doing this and that, but a lot of you seem to be more enjoying the Thursday version of the podcast compared to the Tuesday version, because I can be more me, I can be more help, I can be more, what's the word I'm looking for? The podcast itself is called Unleashed. I can be more unleashed, if you know what I mean. I can be myself more and talk more, and not restricted to what I can say and what I can talk about and stuff. So that's the reason why I created the idea of having 2 podcasts. But I want to ask you guys, as a listener today, what do you think I should do for this podcast? Do you think I should just stick to the Unleashed podcast, or do you enjoy having the both podcasts? What do you think? Because going back and looking through the numbers of streams and downloads and things like that, there, a lot more people seem to listen to the Unleashed version more. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy doing both podcasts, and I do enjoy it, but my question would be which one do you enjoy more? Because some of you do enjoy more the Thursday podcast, because a lot of you have contacted me and said we enjoy the Unleashed version because, not because I can swear or nothing in it, it's because I can let the guard down, I can speak more freely, and I can say whatever I want, compared to a Tuesday where I have to be very limited to what I say and things like that. So I'm going to ask you as a listener today, what do you think I should do with the podcast? Do you think I should continue on with the 2 podcasts, Tuesday and Thursday, or even just do an extended podcast, maybe even on Thursday, where I can talk about more subjects, I can be a bit more unleashed? Is 2 podcasts too much? Do you want more podcasts? Let me know what you think, guys. Drop me an email, mirrorarmypodcast@yahoo.com, or contact me on social media. What do you think? Because a lot more, it's actually quite surprising how many more people listen to the Unleashed version than what they do to the standard version, should we say, or the family-friendly version of the podcast. It's strange. But I just wanted to ask that for you today, guys, and wanted to see what you obviously thought. But what I'm going to do is now, for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go through some of the stuff that you guys have been sending me. Because I feel kind of bad, because there's weeks when I switch the podcast off and I go off in the rest of my day and I say to myself, I only read out three questions today. I only read out 3 questions today, and I should have read it maybe an hour, 2 or 3, but then I didn't want to go more than an hour on the podcast, and I don't want people thinking that I'm ignoring them and I'm not answering their questions and stuff like that. And then again, when I was sitting on the team bus, as I said the other on Saturday, I was going down the road and I was thinking all these different ideas what I could do. Maybe I could do a Tuesday podcast where I could talk about a couple of wee things, and then read out people's emails and stories and answer them and tell a few stories, whatever, and compare whatever. And then on Thursday's podcast, I can have dedicated subjects where I can just literally sit and rip into things and talk about things and tell how I feel about certain things that's going on in the world, or whatever else. Just all these ideas are going through my head as I'm on this bus on Saturday, guys, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, on Tuesday's podcast, I'll probably just talk about the weekend, And even yesterday I was thinking about it too as well. Maybe I'll just go in and just grab a couple of emails, a couple of questions, tell a few stories, blah 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 blah, and just make it all about the listener this time, because I want to make a balance where everybody's happy. Not everybody's going to be happy. It's the same with my YouTube videos. I get a lot of people all the time over the years contact me saying, we hate your videos, we think your videos suck, we don't like your videos, we hate you. But well, my response is, if you don't like it, just turn off. But with the podcast, I have two different days, two different options, where I can have a day where I can say, have a dedicated day where I can answer questions for people, give people advice, even if need be, from my life experiences or whatever. And then on a Thursday I can have dedicated subjects where I can be more free and talk and just literally lay into things. And as you all probably listen to the Thursday podcast, I like to be a little bit more vocal on Thursdays compared to Tuesdays, so you know what I mean. So if you have any ideas, guys, let me know what you think. It's just a couple of sketched down a couple of ideas what it should do, because again, more people are listening to Thursday compared to Tuesday, and I want to sort of like have a balance, if you know what I mean. So I know a lot of you do love the unleashed version where I can talk more. And I've even met people there at I met a lovely fellow there last week at Ice Hockey. What was his name? I think his name was Johnny. I think I remember his name was. He was working at one of the kiosk stands, and I met him and all. And he said he loves him and his wife or Mrs. love the videos and love the podcasts and stuff. And then I met another guy at the hockey as well, and he was telling me he loves the podcast more on a Thursday. So just sort of trying to balance out, obviously, and trying to keep everybody happy of what keep the podcast sort of happiest, you know what I mean? So, but I'm going to go into a couple of emails here, guys. I know obviously we've been talking for 20 minutes now, so I'm trying to get everything squeezed into one day today, so I'll go into a couple of emails here now. So we'll obviously see how we get on here, and I'll go through as many as I can here. Right, I'm going to go into the Facebook Messenger ones. I was sitting going through that as well. I had answered quite a lot of them actually from the Facebook fan page, which is Moore Army YouTube channel. I've one here I picked out first of all from Mike. Mike wants to know, hi Matthew, it's great to see that you're currently on your fitness regime to try and make yourself better and healthier, which is great to see. But off subject, what would be your favourite fast food to have on a cheat day? Good luck with the weight loss. Love all your work, Mike. So there you go. Mike, fast food, right, let's get into it. It's a hard pickle. It really, really is. I do love Chinese food sometimes. Now, in saying that, we're talking fast food. Our good friend Joe, good friend of ours, loves Indian food, and I was actually talking to him on Saturday about Indian food. We were at the match on Saturday. I was talking about him about Indian food and stuff like that there. And the old saying goes, you obviously like to go outside your horizons, obviously try new things and whatever else. So I've always heard and always thought that Indian food was like, no thank you. But I was talking to Joe on Saturday about Indian food, and he was explaining to me more of the stuff that him and his wife have and stuff, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, actually it doesn't seem too bad. So I might try a bit of Indian food down the road. Fingers crossed if I can have the stomach for it. But my fast food, cheat day food, should we say, I can't really pick one, to be honest with you, Mike. I don't know, and Chinese food or obviously our favourite restaurant. You've seen us in our vlogs many a time, the restaurant across the road from us, which you've seen many a time. Obviously I love going in there for a good feed, a good steak, or they do really good chicken dinners in there as well. Just their food's unbelievable. McDonald's isn't too bad, not really a big fan of it anymore. KFC have went off completely in the last lot of years. KFC is not as great as what it used to be. Good God almighty. When I used to work for KFC back in the day, when I was only 17, 18, KFC back in them days were good. Now it's crap. It's not as great as what it used to be. It's hard to pinpoint, Mike, to be honest with you, what my favourite fast food would be. Thank you for your support, obviously, and I do appreciate it, but it's hard to say. We'll really put a finger on which one. Chinese, more likely. I like Chinese food. You know, a bit of fried rice and a bit of honey chili chicken, salted chili chicken, bit of a good curry now and again, which is good too as well. So that would be sort of my sort of to-go-to sort of, you know, takeaway food that I obviously would enjoy. But thanks for your message, I appreciate it. Right, let's go into another one here. I have one here from Brian. Oh, hello, Brian. Brian is from, where's he from? Doesn't say. Brian wants to know, hi Matthew, I see, obviously, you've now had a cheat day, and you said in your last walking video that you were going to have a cheat day with Tony with a few beers. Can I ask, what is your favourite beer to drink? Also, do you drink any other type of alcohol? For example, whiskey, gin, shots, things like that. Thanks for all your great videos, and love the new podcast. Keep up the good work, Brian. Same namesake as my dad, and same namesake as myself, my middle name. So, thank you very much for your message. Do appreciate it. Yes, I did say in that recent walkout video I was doing a cheat day, but was to be a Thursday. What favourite beer I drink? Well, at the moment, guys, I'm drinking the likes of a Carlsberg or a Rockshore. I used to drink a lot of Budweiser when I was younger. Carlsberg as well, but I do like Rockshore. Then saying that, there, I have tried a couple of wee IPAs recently, which isn't too bad. I do like a wee IPA now and again. And also, believe it or not, I think it was last year, last summer or the year before, maybe Tony and I were going to have a drink one night in the back garden and stuff in the summer, and I seen the ale, Newcastle Brown Ale. I bought a bottle of that and stuck it in the fridge to make it cold, and I drank that. Newcastle Brown Ale is actually quite nice. I actually really enjoy that. Any other drinks I would drink beside that there? I would do like I like a new what's it called, a cocktail, Blue Lagoon cocktail. I like that. Shot wise, I would drink Sambuca, which is my favourite shot. I love Sambuca. I could drink Sambuca all day. Any other spirits? Good whiskey now and again, maybe with a bit of ice. Not a big massive vodka drinker. I know obviously there's vodka in the likes of Blue Lagoon and cocktails and stuff, but I wouldn't actually go and order like a vodka and coke at a bar. But apart from that, that's pretty much what I would drink. I do love a good beer though as well. But I've started trying these new IPAs and stuff like that there. What do you call it? There's a couple of good wee IPAs that I would drink. Now, I did drink a lovely beer in Blackpool last summer, and it was $1.45 a pint. I think it was $1.45 a pint. I think, what was it called? Abbott's Ale. And it actually tasted really, really nice. I tried it in the Witherspoons, which is directly below Blackpool Tower. And I just seen it there, and I said to the guy, was that any good? And he went, do you want a wee sample? And I went, aye, why not? And he gave it to me in a small pint glass. So I took it up, and I tried it, and it was like, hey, that's not actually not too bad. So I tried it there. Is it Abbott's? I think it's called, was it called Abbott's? $1.45 a pint in Witherspoons. Now, I think the one in Liverpool does as well, so not that I really drink when I'm away in Liverpool much, to be honest, but yeah, that's a nice wee ale too as well. But my go-to beer at the minute would be either Rockshore or a Carlsberg. Now, as I said, I used to drink Budweiser a long time ago, but not so much now as well. But I mean, yeah, Thursday's my cheat day where I can sort of, not saying that there, I had a cheat day last Thursday. Tony didn't come around last Thursday, but I ended up having a couple of drinks anyway. I had a few beers and chilled out and whatever else. And when I knew Thursday was my cheat day, I thought, right, what am I going to have a cheat day? I've been so good all week. I've been eating nothing but good food. I haven't drank any crap. I've been walking 3-4 times this week. What's my cheat day going to be? And I thought, right, what I want, I fancied a pizza. So I said to Brooke and Lewis, right, sorry, obviously, thanks for your question, by the way. But I'm going to tell a wee story here where I'm talking to, because I love to go off on stories, as you know, guys. But I was sitting there last Thursday, and I said to Brooke and Lewis, we'll get a pizza. But Daddy, it's Dad's cheat day today. That's right, it is. Let's get a pizza. So I ordered a pizza in, and I got two pizzas. I had this offer on with 4-star pizza where you get 2 pizzas and 2 sides for, I think it was 20 quid or something like that. So I ordered it in, and I ended up with 2 slices or 3 slices of pizza. I think it was 2 or 3. Brooke got the rest of that pizza. Lewis had a whole big pizza to himself. We ordered a wee small garlic bread side with obviously another side which was pepperoni dough balls or something they're called. Lewis scoffed all that. Brooke ate all the garlic bread, and poor Matthew here ended up with 3 slices of pizza. So there you go. Sorry, I tell you a lie. I woke up the next morning and I went down, and there was the box was getting on the kitchen table ready to be put in the bin, and I opened it up and there's still 2 slices in it. Even though it was my cheat day, I only had a bit of pizza that day. Obviously I had my breakfast that morning, a couple of toasted bagels with 3 cups of coffee I had that morning, because remember I had 3 cups of coffee. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, God, am I filled with adrenaline? But no, it wasn't too bad. But even though it was a cheat day, but then think about it, I was having beer as well. So I had a couple of beers, a couple of Sambuca shots, and that was me fine. Sweet, sorted. But Thursday was a cheat day, but again I was thinking to myself, Woke up on Friday and went, it wasn't actually really a cheat day, was it? Like, I only had 3 slices of pizza and a couple of toasted bagels in the morning with a couple of cups of coffee and a few beers and a couple of sambuca. But again, the calories do add up, obviously, with the beer and whatever else, like, so. But yeah, Thursday's my cheat day, and I'm going to obviously stick to it. So I would normally have a few beers on a Thursday night with Tony, but I didn't this week. I ended up having a few beers myself. So, but anyway, let's get on to another question here. Where are we here from here now? Right, I've got one here from, is it Rustin? R-U-S-T, Rustin? Okay. Rustin's normally like a surname, because I have a cousin whose surname's Rustin. Strange one, Rustin. Hi Matthew, Rustin here from Belfast. Just wanted to give you a quick message to say that I love your podcast, love your YouTube channel, and also started recently watching Welders TV. Haha, thank you Rustin, appreciate it. Your interviews with the manager and players are really, really good. I thoroughly enjoy them. Can I ask you as well, is there any other teams apart from Liverpool, and obviously the Welders, who you support or would follow or have a soft spot for? I am a West Ham supporter. I've been a West Ham supporter since I was a little boy, as my dad brought me up supporting West Ham until the day he passed away in 2018. I'm so sorry to hear about your dad passing. Just wanted to know, is there any other clubs in the Premier League, the Irish League, or anywhere else around the world you have a soft spot for? Keep up the good work, Rustin. Obviously you all know I'm a Liverpool fan, die hard. I would die for Liverpool tomorrow, like Liverpool's my club, you know what I mean? But obviously I worked for the Welders in Belfast and things like that. Growing up in Northern Ireland, Dad used to take me when I was a small boy to Linfield games, and used to go all the time until we moved to Bangor, and then obviously we couldn't get to as many games because Dad was always working on Saturdays then, and it was very rarely we ended up getting the games. We ended up going to a couple of Bangor games when I was younger, started following Bangor for a little bit and stuff, and then obviously worked for Bangor for 7 years, and now I'm at the Welders. So but soft spot for clubs, believe it or not, back in the early 90s right up until the late 90s, always had a wee soft spot for Newcastle United. Was always a wee soft spot for me. Even back when they were going through their good run with the likes of Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, David Ginola, Peter Beardsley, Pavel Cernacek, God rest his soul, the goalkeeper, all those different phases they were going through. It was just so entertaining to watch. You say you're a West Ham supporter. I actually don't mind West Ham. The guy I was on a podcast with there last summer, the ASAP podcast, Adam, he's a big, massive West Ham fan. And I don't mind West Ham because they're always a good club. I've got a couple of friends who are West Ham supporters. In fact, I actually own a West Ham shirt because it was given to me by a friend of mine before he emigrated. It was the old one years ago with the padded neck on it, kind of like the Liverpool shirt from back in the day, and it had Dr. Martens, the sponsor, in the front. It's actually in a box packed away in my attic, safe. He gave it to me years ago, but I obviously kept it because it was a gift from a friend. But a soft spot for other clubs. I mean, obviously Newcastle. In recent years, the last sort of maybe, would you say, 15, 16, 17 years, I've always enjoyed watching Arsenal play. Because Arsenal, obviously under Arsene Wenger, were doing really good things in the 90s when he came in. Was it 96 he came in? And I enjoyed that there, and I enjoyed watching them going through their phase with the Patrick Vieiras and the Manuel Petits and the David Seamans, the Thierry Henrys, the Dennis Bergkamps, the Mark Overmarses, all them boys, just the Perez's and all them boys in their team. So, yeah, I always enjoyed watching them, but obviously I'm a big Liverpool man. But yeah, that's always been a little soft spot for me. Has always been Newcastle. Just the atmosphere of St James's Park, and my brother's a Newcastle supporter, Tony, and Tony's a Newcastle supporter all his life, and he's never been to St James's Park ever. He's never been to St James's Park, and he keeps on saying to me, "Bro, I want to go to St James's Park." Well, then get up off your ass and go and get a ticket and go and watch them. If you want to, I'll go with you. Because he went to Liverpool with me one time to watch Liverpool versus Leicester. But the point is, obviously Newcastle's always been a wee soft spot for me, so yeah, I've always enjoyed Newcastle. So there you go. Right, let's go over now from the Facebook, and let's go into the Instagram. Let's have a look here. Message requests. Right, boom, there we go. Just got the laptop sitting in front of me here. I know I should have had the page open already, right? But there we go. Okay, got one here. It's from Bruce. Bruce wants to know, hi Matthew, enjoy your podcast, love listening to it every week. Just a quick question for you as well. Wanted to know, do you like golf? Have you ever played golf before? Or do you even play golf on your computer console, i.e. PlayStation, Xbox? I play golf quite a bit. On weekends, time away from the wife and kids, ha ha ha. But I just wanted to know quickly, do you play golf yourself? Keep up the good work, Bruce. Bruce, do I play golf? Actually, I have, well, the only time I've ever played golf when I was a kid, I had a golf club playing on a wee field nearby my house years ago, but I've never actually played golf on a golf course. I've walked on a golf course. I've never actually played golf on a golf course. Would I ever love to play golf? Absolutely. I'd love to play golf. I'd love to, because I see a lot of boys, even in football teams and all I've worked with over the years and all too, that go for golfing days and things like that there, and I never get a chance to go, but I'd love to actually play golf on a proper golf course. And to answer your question, yes, I do play golf on my computer console. I play the new PGA game on the PS5, which I purchased actually about 2 weeks ago, and it is absolutely insane. What a game. Love it. Absolutely love it. So I do. But to answer your question again, yes, I would love to play golf there someday, hopefully. And maybe someday I'll get to play golf. You didn't actually say where you were from in your email or your Instagram message, but thanks for your message anyway, I do appreciate it. But yeah, golf, I'd love to play golf someday. I think it'd be great. So it would. Right, let's get into another one here. Right, I've got a message here from, let's have a look here, Teresa. Teresa on Instagram wants to know, hi Matthew, just a quick message for your podcast this coming Tuesday. Hi Teresa, how you doing? Just wanted to know, do you like to dance? Do you like dancing? Have you any embarrassing dancing moments growing up as a child or any dancing moments as an adult? Just thought I would ask this, as I am a classroom assistant in a school and we are currently at the moment doing dancing courses for kids in our school. We just thought I would ask you, as myself and my husband are long-time viewers of your YouTube channel. Keep up the good work, and thanks for answering my question. Dancing? What a question. Dancing. Have any dancing, any bad, embarrassing dancing memories? God, now you're asking me. Don't get me wrong, after a few beers I like to go on the dance floor and have a wee wiggle now and again, shake my booty, whatever. I don't know really. For to remember. Dancing memories. The last time I was actually physically on a dance floor was that Christmas past, the Christmas before, when I was at the football end of season Christmas, the football Christmas do, and I ended up being dragged up onto the dance floor by Sandra, and we ended up dancing in the middle of the dance floor at the club. I ended up having a good night, so I did actually. Embarrassing dancing memories, I can't really think of any, to be honest with you. Let me have a think about that and I'll get back to you about that, but I can't really think of any really embarrassing, I don't know. That's actually stumped me now. So I want to go and have a think about that, and let me get back to you, because what I'll do is I'll favourite that email on my account, or I'll put that into my primary messages, and I'll get back to you on that on Instagram. That's a really good question. Any embarrassing dancing memories of back in the day? No, I do. Here, a story's just come into my head. Actually, I remember years ago when I used to work as a kitchen porter in the Royal Hotel in Bangor. On a Wednesday night, used to be student night in the bar next door, which had a club upstairs called the Windsor, which is now unfortunately shut. So it's a great place. And I used to go in there on a Wednesday night, and this was in around about 1998, where they had like Run DMC out and things like that there, and we all used to have a few beers. I was about 18? Was he? I was 18. Sorry, I was 18 when I worked in there at the time. And I remember, because I was allowed to drink, and we used to go in there after work on a Wednesday night, the student night. We used to go in there and dance, and that song, what's it called? It's Like That by Run DMC. We used to do the dance moves and all that there. We never had a few beers, but we're all young, and you thought it was great back then. But would you really call that an embarrassing dancing memory? No. I do remember that every Wednesday night in that bar, dancing and having a good time, and coming out of there at about 12 o'clock, half 12, and then coming home, and Mum used to always fall asleep on the sofa on a Wednesday night, and I used to come in from work, and she used to say to me, "Where were you?" I was like, I was in work a bit late. Even though I left work about 9:30, and I got a quick wash and shower upstairs in the hotel, and then went straight next door to the bar upstairs to have a dance and God, there were the days, like I tell you, simpler times we used to get a pint for next to nothing, and you used to go out in your pocket with 50 quid and still come home with money with a takeaway, a taxi home, and you were drunk. You can't do that anymore. Those are the days. But yeah, I honestly can't. When I look back at it, it is kind of embarrassing now because obviously I'm a grown man. But when you're saying embarrassing, you're talking like maybe falling on my backside in the middle of a dance floor, or no way you see all them silly videos online where people are like dancing like complete tits and then they fall over and things like that. But let me have another thing about that. The thing just coming to my head at the minute is obviously that time back in '98. But let me have a think about that, and I'll reply to you on Instagram. So I will. But yeah, dancing. What a question. I know a few people obviously who are dancers. I know a girl who used to work with in local radio owns her own dancing school now. So let me have another think about that, and I'll get back to you definitely. That's that's a good one. So it is very, very good. Thanks for that. Okay, another one here on Instagram from Paul. Paul wants to know, hi Matthew, just wanted to quickly ask you, you don't see very many people in your vlogs these days, only your parents, your kids, etc, etc. But my question is, do you really have a very best friend who you would consider your best ever friend? Just wanted to ask. Obviously, you've talked about different people over the years, and you've seen a few of your friends pop up over the year. But do you have a real, true best friend? Now that's a question. That is a question and a half. Now I've talked about this in the podcast before, guys. Obviously, my best friend growing up as a kid is no longer with us. He passed away in 2016, and he was my best friend. He was obviously my sidekick. He was literally my best friend. Unfortunately, he passed away suddenly, which still to this day I obviously find quite sometimes difficult to deal with. But yeah, he was my best friend. His name was Richard, and I'm still friends with his sisters and stuff to this day. But yeah, he was my real best friend. I mean, obviously we've been through a lot. Now, obviously I had another good friend, which was my cousin as well. We grew up together too as well, my cousin Sam, and obviously he's way married and doing his own thing and all now. So he was obviously a good friend. But I don't know, Richard was always my one that I always remember our good memories together, and all the wee silly things we used to get up to, and things we used to go together and chase girls together and have our first drink together and our first cigarette together. And oh, I tell you, man, we had so many good memories back in the day. But to be honest with you, my best friend today, and you're probably going to laugh when I say this here, my best friend today is probably my son. Because we're always together, we're always doing things together, we travel together, we're always together. He's basically grew up as my sidekick, as you've probably seen it in the vlogs over the years. And don't get me wrong, Brooke's obviously very close to me too as well, but when it comes to like having a wee best friend, like, Lewis is obviously my wee sidekick, and I never make a difference between him and Brooke, ever, never will. Both treated equally, but when it comes to friends, Lewis is my wee sidekick. And obviously he's grown up now and he's turned into a young man, which is scary. So I said to him actually a few months ago, I says, when you get to 18 you can take your dad out for a beer. So you can. So but my overall best friend obviously was my friend Richard, unfortunately, who's no longer with us anymore, and I do miss him every day. And when I go and visit his memorial tree at the cemetery, it's obviously floods back a lot of memories of what we used to get up to when we were kids, and growing up as teenage boys, and growing into young men when we got our first job, and we've had our first beer, and chasing girls. And like, give me an example, like say we went out on a Friday night or whatever down in the town, and we went to someone's house or something, and say you got a kiss off a girl or something like that there, it was like, oh, what happened and all. It was just like, it's obviously all different now, like, but back in our day it was like, if you got a kiss off of a girl, you thought it was Christmas. Now if you get a kiss off a girl now, you're thinking, is that it? But yeah, to answer your question, he was truly my best friend. And to be quite honest with you, I wish he was still around, because if he had been in my vlogs, guys, you'd have loved him. He was so funny. We used to have so many laughs and jokes, and it's just hard to believe he's not here anymore. He's gone 6 years now, and it's weird. So I was up visiting them actually there before Christmas. Just obviously up doing a wee bit of tidying up in his tree and stuff like that there, and took up some flowers and whatever else, and just obviously sat in them for a wee bit, and then just a strange one. But now, if I was to say if I had a wee best friend, I would probably be Lewis, because Lewis and I are always together. We're always travelling, we're always on the road, we're football together, we're doing all these different things together, we play computer games together, we go out together, we have the same sort of interests. So yeah, that's to answer your question. That's who would be my my best bud, should we say. So thanks for your question. Sorry, I just got a wee bit sort of knocked me off guard a wee bit when I saw that question. But yeah, thanks for your question. I do appreciate it. Let's get into one more, guys, before I head down the road here, because I'm coming up towards an hour here talking to you, because I have to go and get ready for football shortly. Let's have an hour look here and see. Right, one more question here. Let's have a look here. This is what I love, guys, going on the Instagram, just all these message requests from people asking questions. I absolutely love it. So I do absolutely love it. Right, one here from Michael. Michael Roberts wants to know, hi Matthew, I've been listening to your podcast from the very, very start. And I've sent you a couple of messages. I don't know why you've actually got them or not by email, but I'm now trying social media. Well, here you are. I'm answering your question now. I had an incident a few weeks ago with TV license people. Oh, God. And I know you talked about this subject a few months ago on your podcast. I just wanted to bring this matter to you to let your fellow listener know, and let them know, how my experience went with them. They came to my door very, very aggressively a few weeks ago, demanding to enter my home, demanding to find out all my information, demanding my name, address and date of birth, and demanding my work status as well, and also demanding I had a TV license. I basically told them where to go, told them I did not watch live TV, told them I did not watch BBC, etc. All I watched was YouTube and Amazon and Netflix, which I pay for anyway. They were very aggressive, trying to force their way into my property, which then I had to call the police to intervene. Oh my God. Then, when the police arrived, they had obviously left the premises and moved on. Matthew, it's absolutely disgraceful how BBC and also these TV licensed goons can go around harassing people on a daily basis for a license that they do not need. Let me hear your thoughts on this. Sorry for bringing this subject up again, as I know you talked about it a few months ago, but I wanted to share my story with your listeners. Take care. Wow, what a question. Where do I start with this, guys? I talked about this a few months ago on the podcast. Wow. Well, first of all, I hope you get yourself sorted out. And I mean, police no call, that's just absolutely insane. So it is. The fact that you had to get the police involved. Madness. Absolute madness. Guys, you know the score. If you live in the UK, they do require people. The government require you have a UK TV license. For example, but there is exemptions. Sorry. For example, if you don't watch live TV, you don't have Sky, you don't have any of them more suppliers, whether it be Talk, Virgin, Freeview, or whatever them channels, you don't watch live TV, and you only watch the likes of YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever. You do not need a TV license. Then I get a lot of my listeners contacting me all the time saying to me, Matthew, you know, I only watch YouTube on my TV. I only watch Netflix. Do I really need a TV license? No, because you're not watching live TV. Now, if you use the BBC iPlayer, because it's part of their license fee, then yes. If you use other streaming devices to stream live TV, then yes, you need a TV license. But it even states on the UK TV license website that if you're only using YouTube and Amazon Prime you pay for, Netflix, whatever you pay for, then you don't need a license. And I don't care what anybody says, it's on there, it's in black and white. Go and check it out. But these goons are going around, as that guy said, goons, which is a great way to describe them. They're going around harassing people, going into people, trying to force their way into people's houses. Let me tell you something. They would try and force their way into my house, then they'd be, my wrestling head would come on, my fighting day head, and they'd be drop kicked down the driveway. Forceful entry into somebody's home is actually illegal. And you know, I get people all the time coming in saying they're looking through their windows like perverts looking through the window, and they're peeking through this, and they're trying to force their way into people's properties and all. Let them do it, because at the end of the day, they're breaking the law. If they step 1 foot over your doorstep without your permission, that's basically, could you say, even breaking an entry or forceful entry? At the end of the day, they can't force their way into your house. I even had people contacting me saying they bought their kids new computer consoles for Christmas. Do they need a TV license to play their computer console? No, they don't. Simple. You do not need a... No. I could go on and on about it again, guys, but I'm not going to. But I hope that you get that problem sorted. And, I mean, the fact that the police had to get involved, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, I see videos online on social media all the time, Facebook and Instagram, people like recording their experiences with these TV license goons, where they're being forceful. Like, I seen one from a guy in Belfast was shouting at them saying, I don't support people who support Jimmy Savile and Martin Bashir and cover up people's and lie to people, cover up lies and tell people lies, scare people to half to death they won't even leave their own house anymore. I don't pay for that crap. Get off my property. Which they have all the right to do, obviously having a voice of an opinion. But the fact is these TV license mobs are now trying to force their way into people's houses. Not in my book, they're not going to do it. I'd love to see them try to do it in my house. The Moore Army podcast won't be on the air for a few weeks. Gorilla Press slammed down the driveway with his wee TV license book, whatever he has with him. But yes, guys, it does state, all jokes aside, it does state on their website as well, that if you don't watch live television at all, if you're not watching BBC, ITV Live, whatever, and any other source as well, then you do not have to have a TV license. End of. So that really bugs me still. I guess I still get messages about that all the time. And my view on it is, if they come to your door and they be forceful, and you know you're right, and you know you're in the right, and you know you have your legal rights as a human being, just close the door in their face. Just tell them no, no interest, and slam the door. It's like if a cold caller comes to your door, I'm trying to sell you this and this, not interested, slam the door. It's like when politicians come to my door, I open the door and they go, hello sir, I'm representing whatever party it is. They go, want to see if you voting this year? No interest, don't vote, bye, slam the door. Do it every year. I don't vote for politicians because politicians don't do anything for me. And especially ever since the whole COVID situation from 2020, all the lies we were told, all the deceit, all the crap, and all the BS that's going on at the minute, all the backhanders and all the dodgy deals and all the crap that's going on in the likes of Parliament over here in Northern Ireland, Stormont, all that. I could go on about that for days, guys, but I'm not going to. I will not vote. Simple as, I take nothing to do with it. End of. I just live my life as me. So, but in closing about that question, guys, don't go and check out your information. If you feel that you don't need a TV license because you don't watch live TV, whatever, then go and check it out. It's there in black and white for you to see. It's in the public domain. And if you're still paying for a license, you don't need to. Cancel it. Don't pay it. Simple. Why should you pay 150 odd quid a year for something that you don't use? So I wouldn't pay for it. That's just my opinion. If it was me, I wouldn't pay for it. Why pay for a service that you're not getting? It's like say you bought a product, say a TV, and you buy an insurance policy on it, and you get rid of the TV, but you're still paying the insurance policy. Why are you paying for that insurance policy? Why are you paying for a product or a service that you're not getting? I wouldn't pay for it. Would you? I wouldn't. So, in closing, guys, TV license, go and read it up. Make sure you're in the right box. Tick the right boxes, and obviously, as those box tickers that I call them at the BBC, like to go around all the time trying to nail people with TV license fees. If you feel that you don't need one, go and check it out. And if you meet that criteria, you don't need one, don't do it. But if you do, then obviously if you want to pay the license fee, go ahead and do it. It's your choice. But the rules are there, and again, it's up to yourself, guys. But if they come to your house, do not let them. If you don't feel comfortable around them, just tell them, go away, close the door. You've all your right in the world to close the door. So, but it's just, there's so many of them stories I see knocking about at the moment, and it really, 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 really irritates me. So it does, really, really irritates me. Guys, I'm going to go, because I got to go and get ready, and I got a few other things to tie up today before I go, and also I got to get this edited and get it out too as well, before I go to football tonight. So, bit of a short and sweet podcast this week, guys, but thank you very much for all your questions. Again, as I said to you, I've been answering a lot of them over the weekend. I'm going to answer a lot more. But if you do want to get in touch with me, please do. MoorArmyPodcast@yahoo.com. Any questions for Thursday's podcast, which is the Unleashed podcast, which we can talk about anything you want. Or you can contact me on the social media links, guys. And also, most importantly, the Moore Army website, which is moorarmy.co.uk, and get yourself Moore Army podcast merch, Moore Army t-shirts, hoodies, you name it. It's going to be there. So,
But I'm going to head in the road here now, guys, and get myself ready for football. Hopefully get a win tonight. Fingers crossed. Thursday's podcast is going to be a bit more interesting because I got more set subjects to talk about this week. More on that balloonhead Prince Harry. He's releasing the book this week. I think it's released in all, is it? I'm not too sure. There's been a whole lot of controversy going on about him this week as well, which I didn't want to talk about him again, but it keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on. So I've got other things I want to talk about too as well, guys. I've all subjects written down for Thursday's podcast, so, and I'll obviously talk to you about what we've been up to as well, up until then as well, so stay tuned. Right, guys, I'm going to head down the road here now. Thank you for all your questions, thank you for all your support, thank you for everything that you do for us in the Moore Army, whether it be watch our videos on YouTube, whether it be listening to the podcast, whatever it is you do. Thank you so much for all your support. I do appreciate it. I'm going to head here and I'm going to get myself a quick shower, get up and get the rest of my day sorted out and get ready for football tonight. If you are at football tonight, to see you there, hello, but good to see you there tonight. But if not, I'll probably catch you down the road some more time as well. Right, guys, until Thursday, hope you enjoy the rest of your day and also enjoy your Wednesday. And I'll see you back here on Thursday where I can be more myself and be more unleashed, as I like to say. I'll see you on Thursday, guys. Thanks for listening.